Okay, so first you need to add 1 cup of sugar.
Okay. 1 cup of sugar. Added.
Oh, sorry, I have to take this.
Well, wait, could you at least tell me what to do next?
Okay, I'm only gonna say this once, so listen close. You need half a tablespoon of baking soda, half a tablespoon of baking powder, 3 cups of flour, all the chocolate chips, half a cup of milk, and 1 tablespoon of seasoning. Now, I really have to take this, I'm sorry. Hey.
Okay, here goes nothing. Flour, how much? 2 tablespoons of flour. Okay. Oh, and 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips. Or was it 1 teaspoon of chocolate? No, it was 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips. And 1 teaspoon of baking soda. Okay, baking soda. Oh, baking powder. 3 cups of baking powder. Or was it 6 cups? No, it was 3 cups. That is not enough baking powder. This should be though. Good enough. Okay, flour, chocolate chips, baking soda, baking powder, all the milk, and all the seasoning. Okay.
All right, yeah, thanks. Hey, sorry, I just wanted to ask a question about the Easter gift baskets. What on earth is that?
What do you mean, what on earth is that? That's the muffin batter.
Ethan, that is way too much milk. The proportions are just all wrong. What did you add?
Well, I added what you told me to. 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 3 cups of baking powder, all the milk and all the seasoning.
Ethan, every single one of those measurements were completely wrong.
Wait, really? Is there any way we can save the batter?
I have no idea. I'll try my best, but Ethan, next time just wait for me.
Oh no. Hey Bon Appetit Baptist kids, welcome back. So far this month, we've been talking about what you should do while you wait, like making wise decisions, or remembering that God is always with you. But this week, we're gonna change focus a little bit. We're gonna talk about what happens if you're impatient, if you don't wait. If you guys couldn't tell, I was really excited to make muffins this morning. Maybe a little too excited, because when Kira got interrupted, even just for a moment, I went ahead and I messed up. I didn't wait, and there were consequences. And well, now I'm gonna have to see if Kira can fix them. In our story today, we're gonna see a similar occurrence where a man who is impatient trades the opportunity of a lifetime for some soup. Here's what the Bible has to say about being impatient. Proverbs 14:29. A patient man has great understanding, but a quick-tempered man displays foolishness. So as we watch our video today, here's the bottom line. If you don't wait, it could cost you.
Sometimes it's hard to wait for all the things that I want. Sometimes I kind of feel like it's just taking too long to get the things I want, what I think I need, but I know you know what's best for me. I'm gonna live what I believe. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working. I'm gonna have patience 'cause it'll be worth it. I'm gonna have faith, I know you have a purpose. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working on me. Still working on me. I know that sometimes I just need to slow down and trust that you are working all of this out. You know the things I want, what I think I need, but I know you know what's best for me. I'm gonna live what I believe. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working. I'm gonna have patience 'cause it'll be worth it. I'm gonna have faith, I know you have a purpose. I'm gonna wait 'cause I know you're still working on me. Still working on me. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna hold up, slow down. I'm gonna trust that you're working it out. I'm gonna hold up, slow down.
The Bible. It's 66 books of history, stories, letters, and poetry that fit together to form God's one big story. The epic adventure of how He created us and loves us so much that He made a way to rescue us. As we travel through the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation, we discover people who met God and found their lives changed forever. Now, for an amazing story inspired by the book of Genesis, chapter 25, verses 24 through 34.
When Abraham's son Isaac grew up, he married a girl named Rebekah. But it didn't seem as though they'd be able to have children.
Please, God, give us children.
But God answered Isaac's prayers, and Rebekah became pregnant with twins.
Isaac, I'm pretty sure they're having a wrestling match in here.
Oh, definitely boys.
Rebekah asked God about the struggle she could feel. He told her,
2 nations are in your body. One nation will be stronger than the other. The older son will serve the younger one.
When it was time for the babies to be born, they came out fighting. Esau was born first. He came out with a strong set of lungs and a head full of red hair. His brother Jacob was born moments later, still holding on to Esau's heel.
How on earth did he manage that?
The brothers shared the same birthday, but as they grew, that was about the only thing they had in common. Esau loved to roam far out into the wilderness.
I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more.
Jacob preferred the comforts of home.
The sun is so hot. I'll just take a little nap in the tent.
Esau loved to hunt wild animals.
That is one excellent wildebeest.
Jacob preferred a different type of hunting.
Not you, not you. Ha! The perfect ripe honeydew melon.
One fine morning, Esau headed out into the wilds in search of adventure and some nice, juicy venison.
I'll feast tonight.
But Esau went all morning without spotting a single rabbit.
Ugh, should have packed a lunch.
In the afternoon, he tracked a deer for hours, but he missed his chance as the deer sprang away.
Ah!
At last, Esau headed for home, defeated. He was tired and irritated and so hungry he could eat an entire woolly mammoth.
Must eat food.
As Esau neared camp, a delicious smell wafted out to greet him.
Food!
Jacob had been home all day, resting and plucking his favorite herbs from his garden.
A little coriander, some dill.
As evening approached, Jacob used his savory herbs to whip up a tasty red lentil stew and a batch of fresh, buttery bread.
This will crisp up nicely on the hot stones.
By the time Esau had arrived in camp, Jacob's stew was simmered to perfection, and the bread was hot and crusty.
Food. Food.
Esau lunged for the stew cauldron, ready to grab a bowl, but Jacob blocked his path.
Not so fast.
Step aside. I'm hungry.
Clearly.
Just let me have some of that red stew.
Certainly.
Esau tried to dive for the stew pot again.
Just one itty-bitty thing.
What?
Well, first, give me the rights that belong to you as the oldest son.
Esau spent more time listening to his stomach than his brain. So in that moment, his stomach won out.
Look, I'm dying of hunger. If I die, those rights are pointless anyway. Now give me that stew.
Esau sprang forward once more.
Promise to give me your rights.
Fine.
Fine what?
Fine, I promise.
Promise what?
I promise to give you my rights as the oldest.
Cool. Help yourself.
Jacob stepped aside as Esau hurled himself at the stew pot.
Stew!
Esau happily gorged himself on rich stew and fresh bread. But as his stomach filled up, he had time to stop and think again. Esau had just traded the rights of a lifetime for a meal that would only last him a few hours.
Okay, here, Ethan, make room for these and start up the next batch. We're gonna have a lot of muffins.
Well, as long as they're good muffins, that's all that matters.
Yeah, why don't you try one and let me know how they are?
Okay. This is this is so good. Okay, never mind. It's gross.
Yeah, next time wait for me so I can show you how to do them properly.
Don't worry, I will be patient next time.
Okay, perfect. Now let's finish our lesson. Here's a little advice for you. Don't bake while you're impatient. It never works out, and you'll end up with a mess or doing something wrong, and it could cost you. Like in today's story, Esau was impatient and didn't wait for the stew to be done, and he ended up giving his birthright to his brother. And Jacob ended up being in the family line of Jesus, so who knows what Esau missed out on. Or this morning, when I was teaching Ethan to bake, I had to take a phone call, and even though I was only a few minutes, Ethan was impatient and went ahead with the baking. So I came back to a mess and muffins that were impossible to save. If we don't have patience, you could end up getting frustrated with the smallest thing. Like if you're waiting for your turn on a game and you get impatient, it could end up costing you your chance to play. Or if you're waiting for someone who's helping you to come back so you can finish baking and you get impatient, it could end up costing you your baking. Slow down, be patient, or you'll end up with bad muffins. Practice patience, and remember to check out the parent guides that are found on our website, and sign up for an Easter gift basket from us. All the information your parents need to know can be found on our website. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.